You know, a fan went up to Phil one time and he said, Phil, why can't my Xbox do what the PlayStation 5 does? And Phil looked at that boy and he said, because PlayStation is the best station. Rack it up. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. But you can imagine what his response would be if somebody did ask him, hey, why is it that the PlayStation 5 is doing all these things that the Xbox Series X can't do, despite the Xbox Series X being, quote-unquote, so much more powerful and being able to do all this other stuff that, you know, people just don't give it credit for, you know. And I love the fact that, you know, Microsoft and Sony both have, you know, so many great things going for them in terms of the hardware itself, right? I got to be honest with you, right? The thing is, right? These are fantastic consoles. I'm the first person to admit that. A lot of people do not understand that I absolutely love both of these consoles, okay? I do. I love the Xbox Series X. I love the PlayStation 5. I think these are tremendous consoles, and I think that these are probably some of the best consoles we've ever had. Does that make for the best console generation? I think that probably remains to be seen, and the reason why it remains to be seen is the fact that, you know, let's just be real here. It all comes down to the games, and if the games aren't there, if the games aren't, you know, amazing and great, then what does it matter for the actual consoles themselves? And I'll give you a good example. The Xbox 360 PS3 era was so utterly amazing that, you know, that's often referred to as my favorite era of gaming. And the reason why I say that is because of the games, okay? Because we take this stuff for granted right now, but if you think about it, and I'm going to get into what this video is about, but I just was kind of in this ramble mode for a second. If you think about the games that we got that were the first in a franchise in the Xbox 360 PS3 era, think about it. The first BioShock, the first Assassin's Creed, the first Mass Effect, the first Gears of War, the first Uncharted, the first Batman Arkham game. I mean, honestly, Modern Warfare, we got the first Modern Warfare game. If you think about all the amazing things that we got, then it just really blows my mind to see that, you know, hey, we can, like, that's what makes this the best in terms of being able to go out there and say, hey, wow, this was such an amazing situation, such an amazing circumstance and set of games and things like that. I think that that's what really defines that generation. So yeah, you know, I find that to be incredible. And again, what we keep seeing, you know, what we keep seeing is Sony keeps adding stuff. Sony keeps on doing stuff that absolutely keeps changing the game, right? Like it's absolutely been just one of the best and most amazing things I've ever seen. And now you see that Xbox fans are asking for some of the things that the PlayStation can do, right? Like we all kind of laughed at it, and I want to get into this, so let's get started. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's me, Crap Gaming, back with another video. Slap that like button, slap it. You know you want to slap it. Anyway, so there was this channel that's doing a comparison when it comes to being able to kind of do all these things between the two, right? Mostly comparing the solid state drives and things like that. Now, the more interesting part here is they, you know, like a lot of the things were obviously in favor of the PlayStation 5, and that's just the way it's going to be. You know, PlayStation 5 has the better solid state drive. You know, a lot of people like Quick Resume and stuff like that. I stick by Quick Resume is disappointing for me personally because the games that I've played most recently, the Mass Effects and things like that, for some reason they can't be quick resumed. I don't know what the deal is, but the quick resume games I have, it shows in my 5 that are quick resume. I haven't played those games in months and months and months. So I don't even know the last time I played them. In fact, one of them is The Walking Dead, the final episode or whatever, and the Telltale series. And man, I can't even remember when the last time I played that. So yeah, it is a little bit strange to say the least. But yeah, what was available there. The thing that really blows people away here is the PlayStation 5 smashed in disc download speed the PS5 120% in speed. Basically, what this means is, if you put in a disc of the game in the PlayStation 5 and you put the same disc into the Xbox Series X, for it to actually download and be able to play, it was 120% faster on PlayStation 5, which is really, really impressive to say the least. And you have a lot of Xbox fans that are out there really kind of looking to this and saying, wow, I really wish that the Xbox Series X would be able to achieve such a magnificent thing. And the fact that it can't is making people sort of maybe question a little bit of what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is exactly sort of the thing that a lot of fans kind of look to when you're looking at what makes a next generation game next generation. So yeah, I find this to be absolutely incredible, to say the least, and such an advantage over what the Xbox Series X is doing, despite the fact that we kind of know better. We know that that's going to be really happening. So really, this is very funny. So basically, the comparison shows how the individual drives in Sony and Microsoft's next-gen consoles perform when it comes to managing the operating system, reading and installing games from disk, starting games, and uninstalling content. In addition, the comparison shows the advantage of certain features and things like that, and I just thought it was a really interesting video, and I wanted to and I'll be able to link this as well. Based on the comparisons, when it comes to installing physical games from a disc, Sony's console has an advantage, and a huge advantage of this, so which I thought was very interesting here. Resident Evil Village, Assassin's Creed Valhalla are used for comparing game start times, and Sony's console is the ultimate clear winner here. And you can't really compare Quick Resume, because if you jump in from the activity cards, it's not really Quick Resume, it's something different. Quick Resume is like suspends 5 games or whatever, but I don't think those could be like online active games or anything like that. I think that it really has to be something completely different. I think that these are vastly different types of approaches that these companies are making, and so we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But yeah, very interesting to see. And then a lot of Xbox fans are asking, hey, why is the supposedly less powerful, less technically evolved, less this, less that, PlayStation 5 able to do all of this stuff? Again, you'd probably have to ask Phil Spencer that. I think that that's what you'd have to do. What do I know about this? I mean, listen, clearly the solid state drive is much better on the PlayStation side, right? I think that that's something that can't be called into question. It's quite obvious. Now, when it comes to what the Xbox Series X is doing, it's doing some nice things on its own, but to really compare one to the other, I think that it's apples to kind of oranges, and not really apples to apples. Microsoft kind of cheaped out with theirs, and Sony put theirs as the focal point into what they're actually going to be able to accomplish with it. So I think that that's really a hell of a thing to do, and a fantastic thing from Phil Spencer to kind of come out there and announce. So yeah, very cool stuff. And to see these with our own eyes is, I think, the ultimate test. Like, so many people don't believe, or they make fun of, the solid state drive that PlayStation has, and I don't really understand the thought process behind that. Like, making fun of it, acting like the advantage doesn't exist there. Clearly it does exist, and we've seen it multiple times. So yeah, hopefully that's something that we see more of. I love seeing developers take full advantage of what Sony is offering with their solid state drive. Clearly they were able to outdo Microsoft and outthink Microsoft when it comes to this. Microsoft went for raw power, but raw power isn't everything. I think that that's really basically why we kind of see sort of these differences and stuff like that between these consoles. So it really kind of comes down to what you want to play. But again, this huge difference is, again, the fact that the PlayStation 5 is beating this Xbox Series X at so many different things really should just go to show you that Sony knew what they were doing, and all these armchair pundits and analysts and tech people, they need to go back to school and figure out what's going on, because clearly they didn't know what they were talking about when it comes to this stuff. So I would love your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Rebuilding a channel is never easy, but thanks to you guys, it's at least fun. Have a fantastic day. Take care of each other. Rack 'em up. Game on. Crapgamer out.